confession reads like this, from a WhatsApp voice note. Okay, my brother, let me record my confession. My story goes on like this. This snake, it was not me who went out to visit a ritualist, but it was my father. Yes, my father was the one who went out and made a deal with the devil. As for my father, apart from being a ritualist, he was such a good builder. He was quite a handyman. There was nothing that my father could not fix or repair. When he spoke with me, my father told me that he only went to see this Chichewa-speaking man after he had started working for this other white man who owned a construction company.
Looking for a great deal on your next flight? With Kayak, you can compare prices from hundreds of travel booking sites, as well as airlines.
So, when my father started working for this white man in this construction company, he said that they used to go around the country building, because this construction company had so many contracts around the country. They used to build houses in mining areas. Those houses that they were building, they would build them for the miners that worked for those mining companies. They would build schools and also clinics and hospitals. In no time, my father was then promoted, and in that company, he became the head of the building department. When my father became the head of the department, he was given a company car, and also he was responsible for making sure that each and every team of builders were picked up and dropped off at different construction sites. When this promotion happened, it created so much tension between my father and his co-workers. Then my father became so sick. Black magic had been used on him. But with the grace of God, he recovered and he went back to work. When my father went back to work, my father was just fired by his boss for no particular reason. In seeking revenge, my father then went to this Chichewa-speaking man, and when he went there, he was given a very small branch of a tree. This small branch, he said that if you were to touch it, it was so slippery, and it was all green in color. As for my father, I don't know if he lied to me, because when he told me his own side of the story, he said to me that that Chichewa-speaking man had told him that that branch of that tree was only there for his protection, nothing else. But on my side, when I tried to go and to dump this snake that my father had given me in the river, it became so angry, so much angry that it wanted to kill the person who was trying to assist me. The snake spoke with this Sangoma and asked, "Who has given you the strength to command me to leave this man? When I made a covenant with his father, where were you? Were you there? I will only follow your command if you pay me first for all these years that I have brought so much wealth for the father of this boy." But that Sangoma that I was with at that river then tried to fight with the snake, but it beat him. Lucky enough for that Sangoma, the snake's poison did not kill him. He only got sick. The snake then told me and that Sangoma that my father knew exactly what he was doing when he did all the rituals. No one had cheated him, and no one had lied to him. The snake then said that my father had been given an oath that if he were to break that oath, then that small branch of a tree that he had been given would then transform and become a snake. So after my father had broken his oath, that small tree branch transformed and became a snake. The snake then said that before it had transformed into becoming a snake, it brought so much wealth to my father. But when my father broke his oath, the tree branch became a snake, which required human blood or the blood of a cow and the blood of a goat. But to me, my father lied, because when he gave me this snake, he only told me that the oath that he had been given was that he was not allowed to eat food that had been cooked when he was not around, but the snake told me otherwise. The oath that my father was given was a two-way oath. If he could not sacrifice any of his relatives in time, he was then supposed to sacrifice a cow and a goat. So growing up in our family, at our family house, it was normal. It was normal that relatives would come each and every year to attend the parties that my father would host. But none of our relatives knew that this was all a ritual that was being performed by my father. So, at these family gatherings that my father used to host each and every year, what he will do is that after all of our relatives had returned back to their homes, my father will then pick up all of the leftovers, especially the bones that were left over from the cow and the goat that had been slaughtered by my father. Then my father would wake me up at night and we would go and dig a hole in the middle of the kraal and we would bury those bones there. The snake then said to me that my father later repented and started going to church. Then the snake left our house and stayed in the mountains. But it said that it would return back to our house here and there to lay its eggs. But it said that it would lay those eggs in the womb of any girl that was a relative of my father. And as for the men in our family, this snake said that it would have sexual intercourse with them. When my father became so sick, that was when he told me that he was a ritualist. The snake then told me that my father had broken another oath when he had sent that snake to do revenge for him. The snake said that that was the first time that it had tasted blood, and once it had tasted blood, it wanted more, and my father could not provide enough blood for it. This snake vomits money, Brother Nashi, but an entire generation has suffered because of this snake. Our family is rich, but we have suffered so much. The women in our family can't have children. They can't get married. The men in our family can't perform in bed. My heart bleeds so much whenever my other family members try to talk about this issue that we are facing as a family in our WhatsApp family group. Even though I do remain quiet, but deep down I know that this snake is the reason behind all of this suffering. The whole family has suffered. As for me, sometimes I can even lack food in the house, yet I'll be having even 100,000 of cash in the house, but I am not allowed to use the money as I want because it has rules and regulations. I tried to dump that snake, but I failed. The snake then said to me that it can make a deal with me, and the deal is that we can destroy the covenant that it had done with my father, and it told me that it can form a new covenant with me. The deal is that instead of it tormenting my father's relatives like it is doing now, it told me that if we agree to do another covenant, it would only follow my bloodline, as in it will follow my children and their children's children for all generations. My brother, do not be afraid, but this is my own confession. Please do not post my voice note online. Dear listeners, right there was a